Saints of Virtue is an allegorical journey through the war-torn regions of the human heart. Symbolic of the ongoing process of sanctification, Saints of Virtue graphically portrays the internal struggle between our old human nature and the new creation that is being conformed to the image of Christ. The game begins when the player dons the full armor of God and transforms into the Saint of Virtue. The player then descends into the mysterious kingdom of the heart. Within this supernatural kingdom, the saint uses the full armor of God to wage war against the conditions, temptations, and obstacles that hinder his Christian walk. As the Saint of Virtue, the player has access to the most powerful weapon in the universe, the Word of God. The Sword of the Spirit is the primary weapon for the saint. It is used to dispatch enemies of temptation, overcome obstacles, and to lead the player out of conditions that keep us from becoming what the Lord has created us to be. The goal of the game is to navigate the levels and reach the throne room of the heart. Each level is designed to address conditions relevant to the lives of every believer. These levels include apathy, the path of life, legalism, and the New Age. Within each level, sub-regions have been designed to help define characteristics consistent with the theme of each worldly condition. Each level has enemies that help define the theme of the level. These aggressive enemies are depicted as masks that we often wear and can only be overcome with the words of God. Throughout each level, the player will find power-ups that increase his or her ability to overcome the many enemies. The player will also encounter barriers, representing worldly wisdom, that prevent the successful navigation of each level. The only way to proceed around these barriers is to find and use the correct scroll, which proclaims God's wisdom in stark contrast to the wisdom of the world. As the player successfully completes and travels through the many regions of the game, he or she will be given practical examples of God's truth in relationship to many of the relevant issues facing today's culture. Examples include the amphitheater of apathy, which represents our tendency to be apathetic in our Christian walk. Within apathy, the player will navigate regions such as the Mall of Things, the Media Maze, the Gallery of Nothingness, the Hallway of Bleakness, and the Hallway of Loneliness. Along the way, he or she will engage the enemies of worldliness and self-centered pride. The Labyrinth of Legalism represents the tendency to try to work our way into heaven. Within this level, the player will navigate the abstract maze, the rules maze, the twisty maze, and the trap dungeon. He or she will fight the sibling enemies of legalistic pride and legalistic fear in the quest to destroy the central fortress known as the Palace of Pride. The level of the New Age represents one of the most pervasive mindsets in today's culture. Within the level of New Age, the player will navigate the regions of the Love and Peace Temples, Relativity, and the Temple of Man. He or she will use the Word of God to fight the enemies of arrogance and self-glorification, while discovering man's attempts to become his own God. Saints of Virtue is a challenging and creative way to present biblical truths to this generation. It is designed to appeal to game players of all ages, offering an exciting alternative through an allegorical world of mystery and suspense. Saints of Virtue offers families and game players an alternative to the blood-soaked, cultic, and sexually deviant products that now dominate the electronic gaming industry.